first question in our mailbag comes from Matt. He wants to know who has the brighter future, Zion Williamson or Ja Morant. Andrew, you start us off. Who has the brighter future?
I personally think Ja Morant. He can do it all. He can pass. He can pass. He can dribble. He can shoot. He's athletic. He has a high IQ. He's not afraid to go toe-to-toe with top players, as we've seen throughout the course of the season.
You cannot be serious. You have Ja
Morant. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Ja Morant will have a brighter future than the Zion Williamson.
No way. Okay, just to lay down what they did this season. Through 49 games, Ja Morant, 17.6 points per game, 6.9 assists, 3.5 rebounds, 0.5 blocks, 0.9 steals. Those are his basic stats. And Zion Williamson averaged 23.6 points per game. That's a 6-point difference. 2.2 assists, 6.8 rebounds, 0.5 blocks, 0.8 assists. Both of them, and I'm not here to shut down any Ja Morant. I love Ja Morant. I love Zion Williamson. But without a question, Zion Williamson only played 19 games and was limited in his minutes through the first 5 games when he came back. He only played 19 games, and that small sample size just shows how dominant he could be. He's only 19, Andrew. How can you possibly have Ja?
I want to just point out the 3 straight Rookie of the Month awards, and also the fact that the Grizzlies are 32-33, 8th in the Western Conference, and he's only 20 years old.
Okay, yeah, but he won those 3 Player of the Months for the rookies because Zion wasn't there.
That's true. Zion was not there, but I'm looking at this long term. Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, they're both hard charging players. If you watch highlights of both Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, they are headstrong, going to the basket, type of playmakers, And Zion, he did have surgery beginning of the season. He was out for a good portion of the season. Ja Morant also, I want to point this out to fans as well, he did also miss Summer League this year due to knee surgery as well.
Both players... Oh, go on.
But if you're going to ask me, I think Ja Morant, going down the road as long-term, I'm playing the long game for him. I think his game will just adapt just fine.
I'll give you that. Both players are very scary when they play. Their styles are both have a lot of torque. Ja Morant goes to the basket, and some of his lands are just scary. He has some Derrick Rose-like landing skills. And I could see him having a bad injury at one point just by the way he plays. Zion Williamson, like you said, everyone's, touching. They don't want to touch him unless they have gloves on. They think every time he goes to the basket, the amount of mass that man has and muscle and girth, when he jumps and lands, you just get scared when he lands. I want to point out another statistic. PER rating. For the kids at home listening, that means player efficiency rating. The average player gets 15 on their PER rating. Ja Morant is at an 18. And also, the lead leaguer for PER is Giannis Antetokounmpo with 31.6, just to give you an idea. So Ja Morant is above the average. He's at an 18. But Zion Williamson, his player efficiency rating, 24.2. That's all-star-esque. He is proven. He is dominating. Not only that, true shooting percentage. That takes into account 2-point percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. Everything comes into this stat. And the lead leaguer for that is Mitchell Robinson, who gets a lot of his baskets towards the, on alley-oops, dunks, so it's going to be high, and that's at a 72%. Ja's at a 56%, which is good, but Zion Williamson's at a 62%. And again, that's in a small sample size at 19 games only. And
I would say that. Go ahead.
No, finish. Go on.
I would say that small sample size, though, you have to factor in if John Morant's playing since the beginning of the season, and if Zion Williams also starts at the beginning of the season, you have to factor in the rookie wall in there as well, or at least some rookie fatigue going on throughout the season. And John Morant has been playing 49. I think it's 49 games.
49 games.
Yeah, 49 games.
Yep.
And the fact that Zion had more rest, he was able to, observe the game from a different perspective off the bench, and he was able to work out and do all these things. John Morant's been playing from the start of the season.
Definitely. And I think John Morant's going to have a solid year. But in terms of who has the brighter future, think about what John Morant has to face in his future. The point guards are stacked in the NBA. You have up-and-coming Trae Young. You have John Wall, who's about to come back. You have Steph Curry, Kyrie, James Harden plays guard now. He has all these players in front of him that I just, how are you going to get past those elite talent and be recognized as a star in the league with all that talent in front of you? Whereas Zion Williamson, it's hard. It is hard to come by a 6'8" body, a 6'9" body, or in his case, a 6'7", 6'6" body, but he plays much bigger. You just have to watch him 1-2 games for, a couple minutes to know that he is going to just dominate the game. He has that kind of effectiveness when he goes in.
Well, I say to that with John Morant, with the players that you just listed in front of John Morant, all great elite level players. John Wall's coming off an Achilles tear, and he hasn't played in about 2 years almost. And Steph Curry's only getting older, and the rest of these guys are only getting older. Kyrie Irving's had several issues on and off the court.
And you know what? I failed to mention Russell Westbrook, too. They are all getting older, but, man, do you really see them passing them?
I see him at a point, he's able to stand toe-to-toe with them, and then eventually, time is undefeated in this game, and over time, I do believe that he's able to surpass them. Maybe not right away in his young career. I would say maybe, let's get into his career 8 years from now.
Okay. So you're saying 8 years in the future, that's when we'll have John Morant as the marquee point guard in the league?
How old is he now? He's 20?
20.
21?
Around there.
So when he's 28, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, same with Zion. Again, I hope that both of these players reach max of their potential. I love watching John Morant. He brings some life back into that Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, even when they had Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, they were kind of boring to watch. And he is paired with a great player. I believe the other young guy there is Jaren Jackson.
Yep, Jaren Jackson. Yep.
Jaren Jackson. And that guy doesn't want the spotlight. He doesn't want the spotlight on him. He's the perfect fit to go with John Morant, and they have a good young nucleus moving forward. But even on Zion Williamson's team, he was out that whole year, right? He was out the entire year, and Brandon Ingram is having this superstar year, and he's dominating. He's finally learned how to put the ball on the floor, create his own shot, start shooting more three-pointers. And when Zion Williamson came back, his presence alone, Brandon Ingram had to take a step back. He said, this guy, get him the ball. He took a step back. You have to give Zion Williamson the ball when that man's playing. But either way, both players, I hope, go on to have great careers.